One of the questions you get asked quite frequently running training is, how do I create shared storage? And specifically looking at iSCSI. So this tutorial is then looking at how we build an iSCSI solution for use in things like ESX whitebox deployments for my test lab and my home. I'm not going to record all the details of the actual machine. It's listed below. But it's very much follow the bouncing ball configuration with the installer CD and going through the installation of the Openfiler operating system. One of the things to be aware of is the configuration. For this case, I've added 2 NICs, both of which will be set to local-only networking eventually, and also only a 10 gig hard drive for the operating system. The goal of this is just to install Openfiler, and after the machine has been successfully installed, we'll set up an additional hard drive that's used for the iSCSI storage that will actually be shared out to the network. So we can see at this point that we're still configuring the virtual machine, adding some memory. I've upped it to about 1 gig of RAM, created a network adapter, added another network adapter, and bound it to the host-only networking for the environment that I'm working in. To those of us who are paying attention, you'll notice that I've screwed up and added it to NAT networking, but I can fix that later. Removing a couple of devices that aren't required, the USB, the printer, and the display, and then just starting the virtual machine up. As the machine boots, just like any other operating system, boots from CD, and then we start the installation. It follows the bouncing ball again. It's a next install. There's nothing special for the Openfiler installation. The configuration comes in the second part, where we've actually got to configure the iSCSI storage and make it available to the network. I'm going to speed up the video a bit just because it gets a bit boring at this point where it's just installing the operating system, in this case Openfiler. I'm going to save myself the embarrassment of reconfiguring the machine to use host-only networking instead of NAT. And so now we can see just reconfiguring the networking interfaces with an IF down, IF up for the main IP addresses to be retrieved back from DHCP again, so they're in the correct 192.168.116 network. You can go to the DHCP assigned IP address port 446, ignore the self-assigned certificate because I trust the resource, and then get the web interface initialized, log in with the username Openfiler. I logged in as root there, and the root user isn't the same as the Openfiler user, so be aware of that. Under normal circumstances, root has unlimited privileges on a machine, but for what we want here, we have to log in as Openfiler. I'm doing a reboot here, just clean the operating system and get ready to give it a kick in the guts to shut it down, so that I can add an additional physical hard drive to the virtual machine. We'll see here that it's an additional 500 odd gig size drive. This is what we're going to carve up in Openfiler to represent to the network as iSCSI storage. So if I reboot it again now, wait for the operating system to start up. And once the operating system has started up, log into the web interface that will come up on, again, that HTTPS connection on port 446. And we should be able to then go from that point to configure the storage and carve it up and represent it as iSCSI storage. That's the end of this first presentation, and in the next presentation we'll actually look at the configuration of Openfiler and the carving up of the disk. So I hope it's been helpful to you, and if there are any comments or any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. Thanks for watching. Bye.